Wei Wuxian, founder of the demonic sect, was hated by millions for the chaos he caused and was subsequently killed by his adopted brother, along with the 4 great clans who joined forces to betray him. We will first fast forward 13 years to a young man named Mo Dao, performing a forbidden ritual, offering his own body so that Wei Wuxian could be reincarnated. Mo Dao is a lunatic who was abandoned by his clan and seeks revenge on his current family, the Mo family. We can deduce that his madness was caused by countless abuses from them. However, this is no longer Mo Dao, but Wei Wuxian, who beats them up and makes them flee. Not satisfied yet, he rides a donkey to chase them to their residence, not pursuing the objective for which he was brought back to life, but rather having fun bothering them. Upon arriving at the residence, he creates a scene, unaware that there were 2 guests. He stumbles in front of one of them and recognizes them as disciples of the Jiu Su Lan clan, who were called by the Mo family to deal with a problem of zombies that have been appearing in the mountains behind the house. These disciples are practitioners of Taoist arts, meaning they are monks who are responsible for eliminating evil spirits. Playing the role of a lunatic, Wei Wuxian accuses this of stealing something from him and threatens to cut off an arm if it happens again, which angers Yuan. Yuan swears he didn't do anything and starts throwing things at Wei Wuxian, but fortunately, the disciples are there to try to save him. After calming down from the chaos he caused upon arrival, Wei Wuxian still wonders why he was summoned instead of an evil god to fulfill his revenge. Perhaps it would have been better because, unlike this other entity, he is not a wicked being, despite his infamous reputation. He is not the right person for this job. As night falls, one of the servants is called to the donkey stable by the son of the family's leader, but on the way, he hears something strange and goes to check it out. As he approaches slowly, he finds the son dead and Wei Wuxian sitting nearby, lost in thought. The servant gets scared and runs away, believing that Wei Wuxian killed him, which is what anyone would have thought in that situation because, otherwise, who else could have done it? The donkeys? With everyone gathered, the disciples of Jiu Su Lan reveal that it wasn't an ordinary death, as the blood and energy were extracted from the body, leading them to believe it was something demonic. However, Yuan's mother doesn't want to listen to them. For her, Wei Wuxian killed her son simply because the body was missing an arm, a strange coincidence. Wei Wuxian tries to free himself by acting crazy and running away, but when he kicks Yuan's body, they discover a small flag that attracts evil spirits. Wei Wuxian realizes that one of his wounds from the ritual has disappeared. Although he didn't kill anyone, he is the one who invented that flag, indicating to the contract that someone died because of him. Without anyone noticing, the evil spirit possesses one of the servants, and he attacks Wei Wuxian. However, Wei Wuxian had noticed its presence and dodges the attack, also saving the grief-stricken mother who continued to blame him for her son's death. The ghost turns out to be a demonic arm that was possessing people. Wei Wuxian tries to get the spirit's attention to get rid of it, but the Lan clan disciples intervene to confront the evil spirit. Although they manage to free it from the servant's body, it continues to haunt inside the house. Something disturbs the disciples. This spirit is not like others, it's more aggressive, and they are forced to send a signal for reinforcements. Wei Wuxian can't believe what's happening. He's anxious about the possibility of an old acquaintance arriving. Despite wanting to escape, he can't due to the contract. But wait, all his wounds had disappeared, and the spirit had taken over Yuan's mother's body. The disciples make an effort to defeat the evil spirit, but it's too strong. Wei Wuxian sees the situation and decides to help by using one of his techniques, turning the corpses left by the spirit into zombies. But even with that, they can't contain the spirit. At a critical moment for the disciples, a superior arrives to support them, whom we will come to know as Lan Zhan, an old acquaintance of Wei Wuxian. This worries him, and he proceeds to flee before being noticed. It's worth mentioning that no one knows that Wei Wuxian has returned to life in Mo Da'o's lunatic body, and he takes care not to risk being discovered. On his faithful donkey, Manzanita, they escape from the house until they stumble upon a trap. Wei Wuxian manages to jump before getting caught. Then, a disciple from another distinguished clan, who had set the trap to catch evil beings, arrives. He quickly realizes that someone was hiding, but to the disciple's eyes, Wei Wuxian appears as an ordinary person, so he decides to leave. However, Wei Wuxian provokes him with hurtful words and attacks him. Wei Wuxian uses one of his techniques to stop him, and just as the disciple is about to finish him off, Zhang Cheng arrives. Wei Wuxian seems to know him and subtly removes the spell, but he realizes he used dark techniques and orders his disciple to finish Wei Wuxian off. However, Lan Zhan comes to his rescue and alerts them that the spirit that attacked the Mo family is still in the mountains. They send their disciples to explore the area. The disciples find a cave with a strange statue that suddenly starts moving. Despite their best efforts, they can't contain the spirit that controls the statue. In this dire situation, Wei Wuxian uses his abilities, taking a piece of bamboo and turning it into a flute with which he summons and controls a powerful zombie general who was like his right-hand man when he founded the demonic sect. This general confronts the spirit and manages to contain it long enough for the disciples to capture the demonic arm, but some disciples become greedy and attack the zombie. Wei Wuxian is forced to continue playing the flute to calm the zombie but is caught by Lan Zhan. Nevertheless, Wei Wuxian continues to play the flute, keeping the zombie at bay. However, he is also discovered by Zhang Cheng, the last person he wanted to encounter again. After witnessing Wei Wuxian's abilities and hearing the flute, Zhang Cheng realizes that Wei Wuxian has returned to life. He tries to escape but is struck by Zhang Cheng's whip, known for its ability to expel evil beings. Although the whip has no effect on Wei Wuxian, Zhang Cheng doesn't understand why. Perhaps he made a mistake? The present disciples who don't believe that Wei Wuxian has returned give their opinions until they manage to convince Zhang Cheng to leave him alone. However, they still order him to be taken away for using demonic arts. Wei Wuxian doesn't want to go and hides behind Lan Zhan, who defends him, arguing that even though his techniques are immoral, he used them to save lives and deserves gratitude. But in reality, Lan Zhan recognized Wei Wuxian from the song he played on the flute, an original composition by Lan Zhan that only Wei Wuxian had heard once a long time ago. Supported by the disciples he helped while at the Mo residence, Lan Zhan decides to take Wei Wuxian to the Lan clan. Now, let's go back to the past, about 20 years ago, when Wei Wuxian was still alive, before the events leading to the founding of the demonic sect. Here, we find Wei Wuxian and Zhang Cheng in Jiusu Lan, sent there to study cultivation and mastery of the 6 arts. A little context: cultivation refers to the cultivation of powers, and the clans focus on training their soldiers or disciples as cultivators. Now, let's talk about the relationship between Wei Wuxian and Zhang Cheng. Wei Wuxian was originally from another family, but his parents died when he was a child. Zhang Cheng's father, whom we will get to know later, took Wei Wuxian in and raised him as his own, so he grew up with Zhang Cheng as a brother. Let's continue. Upon reaching their destination, Ni Weisong, who belongs to the Ni clan and was also sent to study, warns Wei Wuxian not to mess with someone in Jiusu Lan. Lan Zhan, who is very serious and disciplined, completely opposite to Wei Wuxian's rebellious personality. Moreover, Lan Zhan enforces the rules and administers punishments in Jiusu Lan. Ni Weisong notices that Lan Zhan is staring at Wei Wuxian because the night before, Wei Wuxian had sneaked out to get alcohol and was caught by Lan Zhan. He was only reprimanding him for breaking the curfew and asked him to leave. But Wei Wuxian didn't care and started drinking, which angered Lan Zhan, as alcohol was also prohibited. That same night, they ended up dueling, and just upon his arrival, Wei Wuxian had already broken 3 rules and earned Lan Zhan's hatred. During the lessons, Wei Wuxian is asked a series of questions, and he surprisingly answers all of them correctly, except for the last one: what should one do when a spirit starts killing people? While pondering the answer, Lan Zhan responds that they should defeat the spirit. Wei Wuxian finds this boring and suggests using the corpses of the people the spirit killed, turning them into zombies to fight the spirit. However, nobody likes this idea because it is unethical and immoral in the world of cultivation. Moreover, using resentful energy could spiral out of control, causing greater harm. As a punishment, Wei Wuxian is sent to transcribe one of their morality books for a month, supervised by Lan Zhan to ensure no one helps him. After a month has passed, Wei Wuxian decides to play a prank on Lan Zhan on the last day by swapping Lan Zhan's book with one containing erotic drawings. Wei Wuxian is quite mischievous. This angers Lan Zhan, who is frequently the target of pranks, because as the saying goes, those who fight secretly love each other, right? Sometime later, Wei Wuxian and other disciples are taken to a village of the Lan clan where aquatic ghosts are causing havoc. Here, they meet Lan Shichen, Lan Zhan's brother and the first young master of the Lan clan. Lan Shichen explains that they brought Wei Wuxian because, besides being very skilled, he knew that Lan Zhan wanted him to come. In the village, they are attacked by the aquatic ghosts, which they manage to scare away. They decide to pursue them across the lake. During this, Wei Wuxian mentions to Zhang Cheng that the lake contains an enormous amount of resentful energy, which could be used to their advantage to get rid of the ghosts more easily. However, Zhang Cheng prefers not to talk about it. While in the boat, Wei Wuxian notices something strange and flips it over, discovering aquatic ghosts underneath. And no, It's not because Wei Wuxian wanted to get him wet, definitely not. Later, a gigantic aquatic ghost appears, and it becomes evident that they won't be able to defeat it. Their only option is to save as many lives as possible. Wei Wuxian ends up getting caught by the ghost and falls into the water, but Lan Zhan manages to save him. Back in the village, unable to defeat the ghost, they find it strange that there are so many aquatic ghosts and negative energy in the lake. Something is not right, and they come to the conclusion that these ghosts were brought from elsewhere, most likely by the Wen clan, because even they couldn't defeat them. So, the Wen clan chose to release the ghosts from their territory and let someone else deal with them. It's important to note that the Wen clan is the most powerful among the 5 major clans. Wei Wuxian is thanked by the villagers he previously saved from the aquatic ghosts. He seizes the opportunity to flirt with the village women and tease Lan Zhan by asking if they find him handsome. Upon their return to Jiu Su, Wei Wuxian gets into trouble again by bringing alcohol. Once again, he gets caught by Lan Zhan, and despite trying to persuade him to let him go, he fails. Both end up outside, breaking the rules, and are severely punished. Later, Wei Wuxian is carried by Zhang Cheng, and they overhear a conversation not far away. Lan Shichen and his uncle, Lan Qiren, are talking about the aquatic ghosts and how the Wen clan has been doing as they please. Lan Qiren mentions that he brought a few zombies back from his trip for Lan Zhan to interrogate. After the conversation ends, Lan Shichen tells them to stop hiding, as he knows they were eavesdropping. Unlike his brother Lan Zhan, Lan Shichen is much kinder and shows Wei Wuxian a place where he can recover from the punishment injuries more quickly. Coincidentally, Lan Zhan is also recovering, and he gets nervous as he sees Wei Wuxian approaching. Trying to hide his wounds caused by Wei Wuxian, Lan Zhan rejects Wei Wuxian's compliments about wanting to be his friend. However, they hear sounds of wild zombies that have escaped, and they decide to go and contain them. Lan Zhan has no problem defeating the zombies, but Wei Wuxian is struggling without his weapon. He runs until he finds himself cornered and forced to try his theory of controlling the zombies, but it backfires and hurts him, almost consuming him. Just in time, Zhang Cheng and Lan Zhan come to his aid against the zombies. Zhang Cheng realizes what Wei Wuxian was about to do, concealing Wei Wuxian's injuries from others and making him realize that trying to control resentful energy would lead to execution by the cultivation clans. Sometime later, Wei Wuxian gets into a fight with Jin Zixuan, his sister's future fiancé, because he was speaking ill of her. This causes them to call for Zhang Fengmian, the leader of the Zhang clan and Wei Wuxian's adoptive father, to take him back home. At the Zhang clan, we meet Zhang Yanli, Wei Wuxian's sister, and Madame Yu, the leader's wife, who is indignant upon learning that Wei Wuxian broke the engagement agreement between Jin Zixuan and Zhang Yanli, blaming him for causing all the trouble. Unlike her mother, Zhang Yanli tries to take it in a more understanding manner. 1 year later, Zhang Cheng returns from the Lan clan, and together with Wei Wuxian, they go to the Wen clan because an archery competition is being organized among clans. Here, they meet Wen Ning, who sympathizes with Wei Wuxian because he is kind to him and doesn't underestimate his abilities like the rest of his clan. The competition involves hunting ghosts, and the invited clans do well, but the Wen clan barely scores points, which displeases them because they consider themselves superior. Wen Chao, the son of the clan leader, requests permission to participate in the competition. He quickly starts earning points for his clan but gets disqualified for missing a shot. However, Wen Chao doesn't comply with the rule that a participant must leave after missing an arrow until he is humiliated by a perfect shot from Lan Zhan and decides to withdraw. Wei Wuxian notices that the ribbon on Lan Zhan's forehead is crooked, and accidentally, it comes off. This angers Lan Zhan, who even breaks his bow and forces Wei Wuxian to withdraw from the competition prematurely. In the Lan clan, removing the ribbon signifies that the person is destined for them, sort of like their soulmate. After the competition, the results are announced, and Wei Wuxian is crowned first place for the Zhang clan. The 4 clans demonstrated the abilities of their disciples so effectively that they completely overshadowed the Wen clan, which they found disrespectful, given that they are the strongest clan and believed that the other clans needed a lesson. The Wen clan attacks various clans, including the Lan clan, leaving the clan leader gravely injured and in a coma, slowly dying. Lan Shichen is missing, and Lan Zhan's leg is broken. A month after this chaos, the Wen clan orders other clans to send their disciples under the pretext of better training them. In the Wen clan, all the disciples who were sent are forced to surrender their magical swords, or they will suffer the consequences. Wen Zui Lu appears to punish a disciple who refuses to give up his weapon by melting his golden core, the source of power among cultivators, rendering him unable to fight or use magic ever again. Wen Chao threatens that the same fate will befall anyone who disobeys his orders. He then takes them to hunt a powerful monster to demonstrate his capability as the next leader of the Wen clan. On the way, Wei Wuxian learns about what happened in the Lan clan and Lan Zhan's broken leg. He decides to help him by offering to carry him, but Lan Zhan refuses. They also witness Wen Chao about to abuse a girl named Mian, whom he had been eyeing for a while. Wei Wuxian intervenes and saves her by persuading Wen Chao, but then Wen Chao's lover arrives, becoming jealous because she notices Wen Chao's wandering eyes. In the cave where the monster resides, Wen Chao suggests killing someone to use their blood to summon the creature. The lover, still jealous from earlier, suggests using Mian as a sacrifice, but Lan Zhan and Jin Zixuan prevent this from happening. Wen Chao orders his men to kill them, but Lan Zhan and the others defend themselves and reveal their rebellion against Wen Chao. Eventually, the gigantic killer tortoise, the monster they were seeking, emerges. During the chaos, Wen Chao's lover attempts to burn Mian's face with a hot iron, but Wei Wuxian protects her and gets burned on his chest instead. Realizing that they cannot defeat the tortoise, which has already eaten several of his men, Wen Chao escapes from the cave, ordering the exits to be sealed, trapping the disciples of other clans inside with the creature. In the cave, the tortoise appears to have fallen asleep, so they decide to search for an underwater exit. However, they accidentally wake it up, and Wei Wuxian decides to stay behind to distract the tortoise while the others escape, promising to join them later. Unfortunately, he gets shot in the arm by an idiot who planned to leave Wei Wuxian as bait. The others manage to escape, except for Wei Wuxian and Lan Zhan, who stay to avoid being killed by the creature. The tortoise injures Lan Zhan's leg again, and Wei Wuxian tries to heal their wounds with some herbs provided by Mian. Unable to escape underwater without being detected by the tortoise, they decide to wait for someone to come and rescue them. However, if no one comes in a few days, they will have to kill the gigantic tortoise, whose history is briefly recounted as a legendary creature that appeared 400 years ago, bringing ruin wherever it went and consuming living beings. Once, cultivators formed an alliance to kill it, but even then, they were unable to defeat it. It was known as the Turtle of Slaughter. 3 days have passed, and they begin to devise a plan. Wei Wuxian proceeds to lure the tortoise into a trap, but he comes across a mysterious sword underwater that contains resentful energy and could be used to defeat the tortoise. However, just like with the zombies, he fails and is almost devoured by the creature, saved only by Lan Zhan, who manages to cut off the turtle's head, keeping Wei Wuxian awake by playing a beautiful song. When Wei Wuxian wakes up, he finds himself back in his clan. He had been in a coma for 3 days. He quickly asks about Lan Zhan and why it took them so long to come and help him, not considering all they had to do and the journey they had to undertake to save him. Lan Zhan returned to the Lan clan, and not much happened during Wei Wuxian's coma. Lan Zhan's brother, Lan Xichen, is still missing, probably hiding with ancient texts he managed to protect from destruction. As for Lan Zhan's father, he passed away. Zhang Fengmian and Madame Yu appear, and Madame Yu is angry because Zhang Fengmian seems to pay more attention to Wei Wuxian than to Zhang Cheng, his own blood-related son, who also went through a lot upon his return to the Zhang clan, escaping from the Wen and traveling for days without rest. Zhang Cheng is also upset because he knows it is true, but Wei Wuxian tries to calm him down, telling him that their father is stricter with him because he will be the next leader of the Zhang clan. Zhang Cheng, however, doesn't listen to Wei Wuxian's words as he believes their father doesn't love him and that his merits compared to Wei Wuxian's are nothing. In the end, Wei Wuxian manages to calm Zhang Cheng down, assuring him that he will become a worthy leader for the Zhang clan, while he will be his subordinate and right-hand man. In the Wen clan, they are celebrating the death of the tortoise, taking all the credit. Wen Chao announces to the Wen clan leader, Wen Ruohan, that the other clans rebelled against them during the expedition. Wen Ruohan instructs Wen Chao that they were too lenient and must now show their authority as the strongest clan so that such rebellions won't happen again. In the Zhang clan, Wen Chao's lover and Wen Zui Lu arrive to severely punish Wei Wuxian, claiming he provoked the disciples of other clans to rebel against the Wen clan during the tortoise hunt. Madame Yu never liked Wei Wuxian due to all the attention he received from Zhang Fengmian and predicted that he would one day bring misfortune to their clan, and now that day has come. Madame Yu is forced to whip him to please the Wen clan, using Zidian, a ring that can turn into a whip with purple lightning capable of exorcising any body possessed by a ghost. Although Wei Wuxian was not possessed, for him, it was just a whipping. However, Wen Chao's lover is still unsatisfied and asks for Wei Wuxian's hand to be cut off. Wei Wuxian was about to comply until he hears the real reason she's there. It turns out that the Wen clan plans to establish a supervisory office in the Zhang clan, which Madame Yu can't tolerate, leading her to attack her. The Wen Chao's lover manages to escape Madame Yu with Wen Zuilu's help and signals the Wen clan fleet, which was waiting for the true motives of Wen Chao. But the Zhang clan defends itself with a powerful shield that was believed to be impenetrable. However, it doesn't last long because Wen Zuilu kills those who maintained the shield. With the shield broken, the Wen clan begins to invade the city, killing anyone who doesn't belong to their clan. Madame Yu, seeing this, decides to join the battle alongside Wei Wuxian and Zhang Cheng. However, they encounter Wen Zuilu, and due to a dirty trick, Madame Yu is forced to escape, taking Wei Wuxian and Zhang Cheng on a boat to safety. Madame Yu sees the inevitable and gives Zidian to Zhang Cheng, ordering Wei Wuxian to protect him with his life and tying them with Zidian until they are far enough away. Wei Wuxian and Zhang Cheng, far from the coast, witness their father and his warriors flying towards the Wen clan, believing that with their parents' abilities, they would be fine. They decide to return to look for them stealthily, only to find mountains of Zhang clan corpses and the bodies of Madame Yu and Zhang Fengmian. The Zhang clan had been completely defeated that day, and their territory was lost to Wen Chao. Zhang Cheng, upon seeing his parents dead, accidentally makes some noise, attracting the attention of some guards. However, Wen Ning, the boy Wei Wuxian met during the archery competition, covers for them to avoid discovery. Far from the Zhang clan, Wei Wuxian tries to calm Zhang Cheng, who has gone mad and is eager for revenge. But in his current state, seeking revenge would be futile. Zhang Cheng blames Wei Wuxian for everything that happened, as protecting Mian and Lan Zan led to the downfall of the entire clan. Even farther away from the clan, Wei Wuxian realizes that the Wen clan is searching for them. They stay hidden until it's safe to continue their journey to where their sister, Zhang Yanli, had gone before the invasion. Wei Wuxian asks Zhang Cheng to stay hidden while he looks for food, but when he returns, he finds Zhang Cheng captured by the Wen clan. Wei Wuxian goes to rescue him, and they are pursued by Wen disciples until they are once again saved by Wen Ning. Wen Qing, Wen Ning's sister, is not happy about him protecting them as she believes it may bring trouble that has nothing to do with them. Although Wen Qing saves them from some disciples who were about to find them due to Wen Ning's insistence, she allows them to stay for a few days to heal their wounds. Afterward, Wei Wuxian asks Wen Ning if he can retrieve the remains of Zhang Fengmian and Madame Yu. Meanwhile, in the Lan clan, Lan Zan is surprised by his great-uncle, who knows he has been sending disciples to find Wei Wuxian, Zhang Cheng, and Zhang Yanli. His great-uncle is concerned that this may attract consequences for the Lan clan and believes they should stay out of affairs that don't concern them. However, Lan Zan disagrees and thinks that forming an alliance between clans to confront the Wen clan is the best course of action. He knows that what happened to the Zhang clan could happen to them or any other clan at any moment. A couple of days pass, and Wei Wuxian is completely healed from the lashes he received from Madame Yu. Despite all the resentment, he tried not to hurt her gravely. Wen Qing informs them that Wen Chao will arrive the next day. Wei Wuxian decides to wake Zhang Cheng so he can eat before they leave. However, Zhang Cheng doesn't want to do anything since he lost his golden core. Wei Wuxian lies, saying that he knows someone who can help Zhang Cheng recover his core, but in reality, Wei Wuxian had asked Wen Qing to transfer her golden core to Zhang Cheng without his knowledge. Wei Wuxian instructs Zhang Cheng to blindly walk to a mountain where his grandmother is said to live, claiming she can restore his golden core. Wei Wuxian waits for his return at the foot of the mountain. If that doesn't work, Wen Chao will arrive the next day to take Wei Wuxian and torture him. Wei Wuxian offers no resistance, telling them to do as they please, and convincing them that if he dies, he will return as a fierce ghost and destroy the Wen clan. Wen Chao tests Wei Wuxian's claim by taking him to the burial mounds, an ancient battlefield filled with corpses and resentful energy. They say that those who enter never return. Wen Chao throws Wei Wuxian off a cliff, and days pass with no sign of him. Lan Zan, who focused on finding him, couldn't locate any trace, and it's as if Wei Wuxian ceased to exist. During this time, Lan Shichen reassures Lan Zan not to worry, as Wei Wuxian is clever and probably safe. He shares that he has been visiting other clans to form a campaign against the Wen clan, though everyone is unsure if they could suffer the same fate as the Zhang clan. The next day, the leaders of the 4 clans, Ni, Jin, Lan, and Zhang, hold a meeting, with Lan Shichen being named the leader of the Lan clan after his return. Zhang Cheng also takes his place as the leader of the Zhang clan. Convinced by Zhang Cheng, they name their campaign, The Fall of the Sun. During Wei Wuxian's time in hiding, he had not disappeared but was learning to control the negative energy, creating demonic cultivation. At the start of The Fall of the Sun campaign, the 4 clans, Ni, Jin, Lan, and Zhang, lead 8,000 warriors against the Wen clan. However, their forces are no match for the Wen clan, and Zhang Cheng's clan barely has any fighting force. When the situation stabilizes in the Lan clan's territory, Lan Zan sends cultivators to reinforce Zhang Cheng's defense. The clan Ni achieves a significant victory as their leader beheads Wen Shu, Wen Chao's elder brother, exhibiting it to their warriors and taunting the Wen clan. During a mission to infiltrate the supervision offices, Zhang Cheng and Lan Zan find only corpses of Wen disciples, who died in an unusual manner, as if from fear. Zhang Cheng sees them as potential allies, but Lan Zan takes one of the talismans they find to study. Unknown to them, it was Wei Wuxian attacking the supervision offices, but everyone believes it is the work of ghosts. Even Wen Chao's lover thinks that Wei Wuxian returned as a fierce ghost to torment them. In secret territories of the Zhang clan, they continue to train warriors. Although most are still under training, they would not be able to withstand an attack if the Wen clan discovers their location. Lan Zan arrives to show Zhang Cheng that the talisman was altered with more strokes made with blood, indicating that it attracts evil. This worries Lan Zan, but Zhang Cheng seems content as long as it helps to destroy the Wen clan. While the disciples of the Lan clan escort Zhang Yanli, they are followed by a Wen scout who lights a signal revealing their location to the Wen clan's army. With the Wen clan's army on its way, they can only prepare to resist. Night falls, and the battle continues. Lan Zan is exhausted, his fingers broken, and Zhang Cheng is injured and captured. Wen Chao mocks their efforts, revealing what he did to Wei Wuxian in the burial mounds. Lan Zan, in fury, launches a final attack, but it proves futile. Just when all hope seems lost, Wei Wuxian finally appears, playing a flute and turning the dead Wen disciples into zombies, attacking only the Wen clan members, particularly Wen Zui Lu and Wen Chao, torturing them brutally. What could have been an emotional reunion between Lan Zan and Wei Wuxian quickly turned into an argument. Lan Zan disagreed with the path Wei Wuxian had taken, as practicing demonic arts carried a high price and was punishable by death. Nevertheless, Lan Zan had missed him deeply and wanted him to accompany him to the Lan clan. However, Wei Wuxian misunderstood, thinking they wanted to punish him. Exposing oneself to resentful energy could alter one's personality. Saddened by the misunderstanding and unable to change Wei Wuxian's mind, Lan Zan leaves alone. Wei Wuxian stays with Zhang Cheng and his sister at Lotus Pier, the former territory of the Zhang clan that they managed to reclaim with Wei Wuxian's help. Later, in the Donghua, not much detail is given about the war between the alliance and the Wen clan, except that Wen Ruohan is killed by Jin Guanyao. If you need some context about Jin Guanyao, he is the son of a prostitute and Jin Guangshan, the leader of the Jin clan. He was always despised by his father and the Jin clan, but due to his remarkable abilities, Ni Mingju took him as his right-hand man in the Ni clan. During the time Lan Shichen was missing, Jin Guanyao took care of him, and they became sworn brothers. It was known that he could kill anyone who stood in his way. However, he lost Ni Mingju's trust when he killed those who mocked him, leading to his expulsion from the Ni clan. This is when Jin Guanyao began planning to kill Wen Ruohan from behind. After this lengthy flashback, we return to the present with Wei Wuxian in Mo Zanyu's body. He had been practically forced to go to the Lan clan, as he didn't have many options. It was either that or die again at the hands of his brother. Lan Zan requests that Wei Wuxian be taken to one of the personal rooms, and Wei Wuxian is surprised that he is not being closely watched. He contemplates leaving because the Lan clan is too boring, recalling the time when he was a student and there were 4,000 rules in total, all engraved on a mountain. It's no wonder he broke many rules back then. He tries to leave, but Manzanita refuses. Looking for alternatives to avoid boredom, he decides to bother Lan Zan while he's bathing, but he gets caught. Wei Wuxian fears that he will be punished for harassment, but Lan Zan doesn't get angry. He has become much more compassionate. However, they are interrupted by a disciple who breaks the atmosphere, informing them that the demonic arm has gone out of control. Lan Zan is unable to contain it alone, so Wei Wuxian steps in to help. After sealing the arm, the mystery of its origins remains. Following the location indicated by the arm, they encounter Jin Ling, who was there for a support mission. There they find corpses of several disciples who lost control and killed each other due to the excessive negative energy. Some also died due to vengeful spirits. Continuing their search, they come across the remains of Jin Shu Zuan, Jin Ling's uncle, who had also had issues with Wei Wuxian in the past. Soon after, the ghost general that Wei Wuxian had awakened at the beginning arrives, and Jin Ling attacks him. However, he is unable to do much and signals for Zhang Cheng's help. This zombie general is actually Wen Ning, in case the resemblance isn't obvious. He had been taken as a slave and killed along with the innocent survivors of the Wen clan after its extinction. Wei Wuxian learns about this and decides to try to revive Wen Ning, turning him into a zombie with a new consciousness. Wen Ning was much more powerful than other zombies, and because of the affection Wei Wuxian had for him, he made him his right-hand man. Continuing, Wen Ning manages to escape. Zhang Cheng, annoyed, sees that Wei Wuxian was hiding. Could it be just a coincidence? He was about to whip him again when Lan Zan intervenes once more, telling Wei Wuxian that as long as he stays close to him, Zhang Cheng won't be able to do anything. Days later, they are searching for clues when they are alerted that the demonic arm has escaped from the Lan clan. Wei Wuxian suggests using a compass of evil to find it. The compass is designed to mark dangerous places, but it forms a connection with the objects used to trap it in the first place. They head towards another village. There, they encounter Jin Ling again, who has a dog and playfully approaches Wei Wuxian. The dog's presence terrifies Wei Wuxian, causing him to jump into Lan Zan's arms. Jin Ling, witnessing this, decides to leave. Wei Wuxian's fear of dogs stems from a childhood trauma. Before being adopted by the Zhang clan, he had to survive on the streets, where dogs would attack him for food. Continuing their search, they hear Hada, the dog, barking continuously, and Lan Zan believes that Jin Ling might be in trouble. They find a stone castle, where a mysterious sword containing a great deal of negative energy rests. They also find Jin Ling trapped within one of the walls. When Lan Zan goes to chase the perpetrators, Wei Wuxian and Jin Ling are left alone until they are reunited later. Wei Wuxian realizes that Jin Ling has a curse on his leg and risks transferring it to himself. As Zhang Cheng arrives, he takes them to the village, where he confirms that Wei Wuxian is alive. He criticizes him for several past actions. Wen Ning comes to Wei Wuxian's defense and uses this opportunity to escape with Jin Ling's help. Once Jin Ling is gone, Wen Ning appears, and Wei Wuxian tries to see his memories to find out what happened to him during this time. There were rumors that he had been dismembered, but Wei Wuxian doesn't see much. He only catches glimpses of the Jin and Lan clan's garments. Wen Ning's memories and consciousness had been sealed, but Wei Wuxian manages to free them. While talking, Wei Wuxian clarifies that Zhang Cheng wasn't responsible for his death. The truth about how he died is uncertain. The most widespread rumor is that Zhang Cheng betrayed him, but there are also rumors that Wei Wuxian was devoured by hundreds of demons. The real story may never be known. They continue talking until Wei Wuxian faints due to the curse that had rapidly spread through his body. Then, we see a memory of Wei Wuxian from 14 years ago or even a bit earlier. Lan Zan was visiting Yiling, a village founded by Wei Wuxian with the surviving members of the Wen clan, whom he protected because they were innocent of their clan's crimes. They never killed anyone, and some of them became doctors. One day, Lan Zan visits the village, and Wei Wuxian invites him to eat with a yuan. During their meeting, Wen Ning loses control, but they manage to contain him. On that day, Wei Wuxian gives Wen Ning a consciousness. Later, Lan Zan informs Wei Wuxian that his sister, Zhang Yanli, is going to marry Jin Zixuan, with whom he had fought in the Lan clan for speaking ill of Zhang Yanli. A year later, they have a son, and Wei Wuxian is invited to see him. However, they are ambushed on the way by Jin clan disciples accusing them of placing a terrible curse. The Jin clan starts attacking, and Wei Wuxian responds by having Wen Ning kill some disciples as a warning, as he didn't want to cause more trouble. But Wei Wuxian's talisman absorbs too much negative energy, causing him to lose control and kill everyone, including Jin Zixuan accidentally, who was there trying to reason with Wei Wuxian. Wei Wuxian wakes up back in the village, paranoid because his reputation has been destroyed. Not knowing what to do, especially after killing Zhang Yanli's husband and his nephew's father, Wen Ning and his sister decide to turn themselves in, grateful for everything they have done for them. When they surrender, Wen Ning's sister is burned the same day, and Wen Ning is imprisoned to be killed in a ceremony with all 4 clans present. They announce that they will then go after Wei Wuxian, but he beats them to it by going to the ceremony and promising to surrender himself if they forgive the surviving Wen members and give him time to discover who cursed him. However, he loses control again due to negative energy, raising hundreds of zombies and starting a war against all the clans. But one of the zombies injures Zhang Yanli, and Wei Wuxian stops the zombies at Zhang Yanli's request. However, an idiot trying to kill Wei Wuxian ends up accidentally killing Zhang Yanli, and he loses control of the zombies once again, leading to rumors of his possible death. We return to the present, and Wei Wuxian wakes up thanks to Lan Zhan, who has been taking care of him after he fainted due to the curse. Here's a fact: Lan Zhan has been keeping a silver bell that originally belonged to Wei Wuxian for over 15 years. With it, he was able to contain the curse. Lan Zhan intends to return the bell, but Wei Wuxian refuses and prefers that he keeps it as a memento. While they eat, Wei Wuxian talks about the dreams he had about the past, and Lan Zhan shares his version, realizing that something doesn't match. They both come to the conclusion that Wei Wuxian never lost control over the negative energy. He was framed by someone else, and they made it look like Wei Wuxian had betrayed the 4 clans. During their conversation, they noticed that Ni Weisong was spying on them. Ni Weisong is the current leader of the Ni clan and has been labeled as an incompetent leader because when his people ask him what to do in the face of a problem, he responds that he knows nothing, earning him the nickname, Patriarch Knows Nothing. However, he hides many more secrets than anyone can imagine. Wei Wuxian is clever and very intelligent, so he subtly threatens Ni Weisong with spreading false rumors to get him to reveal everything he knows. Ni Weisong agrees, but on the condition that they keep the secret. It turns out that the sword they found in the stone castle belonged to the previous leader of his clan. It has been passed down through generations, but when the bearers died, they turned into demons and exploded, cursing the sword even more. Ni Weisong never wanted to follow in the footsteps of other leaders, so he doesn't use swords. That's why he's always seen with fans. To keep the cursed sword under control, they brought hundreds of corpses to feed it and prevent it from attacking the people in the village. On their way to the stone castle, they find a lot of Ni clan corpses, but they were not attacked by the sword. Instead, they were killed by a strange group of cultivators, whom Wei Wuxian easily defeats. The demonic arm also reappears, and they take it away again to do the same as when it was at the Lan clan. The demonic arm seems to point in another direction, and they follow its indication, leading them to someone who appears to belong to the Lan clan, but whom they have never seen before. Their identity remains a mystery, and that's how the first season of this anime ends. If you've reached this part of the video, let me tell you that you've been one of the few people to make it this far. So comment the word demon in the comments. Remember to subscribe to not miss any videos. With that said, see you in the next video.